Realize that guilt or beating yourself up for what you did or didn't do doesn't help at all. You know, it doesn't do anything. You could take an action, and this is big. If there is an action you can take now to make things right and you don't do it, guilt's not going to go away until you take that action. Okay, say you fucked someone over. If there's an action you can take, something you can do now, you have to do it. If you don't, you'll wake up with that guilt over and over and over and over again. Okay, but in terms of the action, you also have to ask yourself, is it something that helps or is it something for me? Because you might think, this is the right thing to do, but it'll actually ruin the person even more. So no, is there something I can do to make things right for them? And then, it's sinking into it and letting go of it. You can do this through the process of letting go, asking yourself, could you forgive yourself for what you did, for what you didn't do? Letting go of it. Or something we do at Transformation Mastery Live is through the guided meditation, I literally make you picture those previous versions of you just hate. And we all have it. A younger version of us that we fucking hate. Perhaps it was you in school who didn't stand up for yourself. You know, you were bullied and you didn't stand up. A version of you who didn't say the right thing. A version of you who didn't express him or herself. A version of you that didn't jump at an opportunity. What younger versions of you ruined your life? And I'm sure it pops up here. You're like, if only I didn't do that. If only I did that, life would be fucking amazing.
Yes.
Right? But it's shit, because I did and didn't do that. What version of you do you fucking hate? Where you just punch, or you just hate every single day? Like, motherfucker, why? For real, what version? You know? And there's probably a lot of them. And that creates a lot of self-hate inside. And then the question is, could you forgive that you? Bring your awareness to the sensations that come up when you think to the previous versions of you that you hate. What are those previous versions of you? The you that fucked everything up. The you that made a bad decision you can never take back. The you you've just been hating. If only I did that. If only I didn't do that. Sink into the sensations. If you want to go even deeper, you can ask yourself, if you went back in time, and this is also realizing, like, you do the best you can with what you have, who you are. Say you go back to the you who was bullied, who didn't stand up. The you who was like alone and who just felt weak and you hated yourself for feeling weak. If you went back in time right now to that version of you, what would you say to you? What would you do to you? Could you forgive you? Could you hug you? Could you say it's okay? That helps tremendously. Like going back in time mentally and then just feeling that. Could you go back in time to those younger versions of you, those previous versions of you? Forgive yourself. Perhaps hug yourself and tell yourself, I love you and I forgive you. That's in terms of self-forgiveness. And then in terms of other people, one that really helps, so again, I'll just give you mini takes, just see the ones that resonate. If I reflect, like say I sink into that perspective of me dying. I die right now. From the perspective of me being dead, which gives you more authentic information, ask yourself, who would you forgive? Would you tell her you love her? Would you forgive her? Would you tell her you're sorry? What comes up? And keep breathing into it. If you look back at your life, how much of your life was wasted on resentment, on grudges, on you hating people? And you realize it's a lot. You're like, shit, you know? If I could go back in time and do things differently, I would have forgiven that person. Not for them, but for me. Because resentment, grudges, hate doesn't fix anything. That's just self-abuse. It doesn't change anything. It's just you wasting your time, punishing yourself, and being tortured even more. If you actually forgive the person, like, they have to deal with their shit. If they did something that fucked you up, most likely that's them trying to cope with their stuff. They have, they're dealing with a lot of shit. They're already being punished. In terms of you, it's, okay, can I forgive them? Can I set myself free from their power over me? Because if there's guilt, resentment, they fucking control you. You are their slave, you are their bitch. Can you free yourself from that? And in terms of forgiving them, it doesn't mean that what they did was right, that what they did was good, that you deserved it. It means, could you free yourself from that and not let it run you? You know? And one that a lot of people have, and this really helps in terms of, say, parents, like a lot of us hold a lot of grudges towards our parents, or even friends, or people we know, is this saying here, you know, can you forgive them and realize that, say, your parents might love you, but they just don't know how. Or your friends might be there, like you, but they just don't know how. People don't know how. And funny enough, the more people you forgive as well, the more you'll forgive yourself. That's big too. Easier said than done. These are like a lot of just mindsets, some tools. Diving into it and releasing it will really make it permanent. But that's something I do a lot. And then like, I replay a lot of scenarios. Like through the scandal, for example, there's a lot of people I held grudges against. Not the people you'd think, funny enough. You know, people think like, oh, what about the people who called you out, did the petitions? Like, fuck, I have, honestly, swear to God, 0 grudges against them. Why? Because I would have fucking signed that petition too. If I read the shit that was said about me and I thought it was true, I'd hate me too.
You know, the funny thing is, I watched your videos like after the scandal, and I didn't realize that was the same person.
Oh, really?
It took me like a few months, and then I was, what the fuck is he talking about? What kind of scandal? What the fuck did he do? And then I was like, oh my God,
that's the same.
This guy. No, what have I done? I have to return my feminist card. And then I realized that you're like actually really good. So.
Thank you, thanks. No, I always say like, if I read the stuff that was being said about me without knowing me, I'd hate me too.
Yeah,
it's
it got out of hand.
When you go through shit, you see who are your true friends or not. And there's a lot of people I thought were my true friends, and then you realize they're not. And then there's a lot of like, fuck, like that. And there was a lot of releases that I did where I like replay it and really replay like the betrayal. And then, like, to the point, it's like you're there. It's like, what does it feel like to be betrayed? Like that person fucking you over, and like let it all up, and then just let it go, let it go, let it go. And then after a while, you just realize you're not triggered by it anymore. And that's how you know you've actually forgiven them. It's when you think about that person or what they did, and it's just information, it's just data. It's like, what did you eat for breakfast? You're not gonna be triggered by that. I'd be like, oh, fucking breakfast. You're gonna be like, it's just information. When you think about that person who fucked you over, it's just information. That's when you know you're free from it. It no longer runs you.